Hi there. So, how are you doing today? I hope the answer is good. Okay, class, imagine this. It is 6 p.m. Your work, it's done. Your homework, if you're a student, it's finished. Your dinner is cooked. Now, if you are going to use a tense that shows future result, it's going to be future perfect tense. And that is what we are pretty much going to cover today under our grammar series in reference to grammar tool number 11. Okay, so today's topic, or the first topic that I pretty much want to deal with, is topic identity, and that's nothing but our future perfect tense, right? And what does it really help you to do? It helps you to talk about an action that will be completed before a future time. Very easy to understand. Now, again, to kind of reinforce, this tense helps you to talk about something that will be completed before a particular time, but in future. If you come, if you come around to understand the real life situation, it deals with deadlines, with goals, okay, targets, and prediction about completion, that is completing some kind of an activity before the time runs out. So remember this key idea that it pretty much deals with result before a future moment, and also deals with work and study targets. I would also want to talk about a very important point, that is when to use this, or I like to call it as a decision trigger. That is, you will use this when the action will be finished in the future. Okay, you will usually mention a future limit like by 6 p.m., by next week, or by December. And you want to show completion before something else happens. So, when are you going to use it? When the action will be finished in the future. Okay, when you mention a future time limit like by 6 p.m., by next week, or by December, phrases like that. Or if you really want to show completion before something else, before something else happens. Now, common time words to keep in mind when you're looking at forming sentences in reference to future perfect tense are by the time, before, in plus a time period. And when not to use it is something really very important. So, do not use it for actions happening at that moment. Okay, or if they are in progress. Now, if they are in progress, you're kind of looking at using it when you are you are kind of looking at using future continuous tense. Okay, a very good trick is to ask a shortcut question to yourself. You will be asking, will this be finished before that time? Okay, in the near future. Now, if your answer is yes, only then you will be using future perfect tense. What is the question you will be asking? You will be asking yourself, will I be able to finish this work or this kind of an activity at that future time? Only then you will be looking at using future perfect tense. Let's look at something more important, that is meaning first and not form first. When I say not form first, it means do not go ahead and try to get overwhelmed by looking at those formulas that are pretty much available on the on Google and on kind of internet, wherein they kind of show big time formulas. All right, what meaning first kind of really shows is that try to picture future. What do you mean by future? Future means completion before a future point. Okay, there is some activity that you're trying to complete before future. What does perfect mean? It means that this particular activity that you're trying to do will be done before that time. However, it has to be in future. Okay, that is what this particular phrase future perfect means. Also, to keep in mind that the result will already exist. The person will know, the person will know whether the action is finished or if there is a sense of achievement in a particular activity, and a certain time frame has been mentioned. Let me go ahead and write this for you. All right, a certain time frame has been mentioned. Only then your future perfect tense comes into picture. A mini example for you guys. on the screen. I will have finished my work by 6 p.m. Very good. Now, next is something really important. Okay, this is the formula as I spoke about, the ones that you get on the internet. However, as I told you, even you have another way to kind of, remember the whole concept by meaning first. Okay, but we are going to look at the formula as well. So, the formula is very simple, guys. It is subject plus will have and verb in the third form. Okay, what is it? Subject plus will have and verb in the third form. For example, I will have completed, this is in V3 form, the task. She will have she will have arrived by now. How about just adding this small phrase that is by now? Okay. So when I add this, it actually kind of creates a sense of time phrase immediately. So she will have arrived by now. This person is sitting somewhere else and saying that she will have arrived by now. Okay, so that is how a future perfect tense is particularly used. Looking at the next pattern, this is, or next, the formula is negative. What do you mean by negative? I told you there is an inclusion of only one word, and that is not. And this not will be pretty much sitting between will and have. So, how does the sentence look like? It looks something like this: I will not have finished that particular work by that time. Okay, so I will not have finished. That's it when you look at the negative form. The question form is very easy to understand because your subject moves to the second position and will or the helping verb takes the primary position. So, will, subject, that is you, have finished by then. You can add words like this as well when you're talking in future perfect tense by then. All right. So, what is your question now? Can you read this aloud? If you can read this aloud, it would be great. So, will you have finished by then? The question mark can end here. If you want to just, go on. Will you have finished by then? Okay. This is the question form when you look at future perfect tense. So, what happens in the question form? Your subject moves to the second position and your helping verb moves to the primary position. However, your verb 3 will not change. Right. Three core concepts for today in reference with future perfect tense are: pattern 1, deadline oriented. All right. Deadline oriented. That is, I will have finished. What is the deadline here? By 8 p.m. She will have left. What is the deadline here? By tomorrow. But your builder form is the same. Okay. Great. Let's look at pattern 2. Very, very good use of future perfect tense. But there is a new friend here, and that is present simple or simple present included in this formula. And why does it happen? Obviously, a very simple reason: to sound enhanced and fluent at the same time. Okay, so here under pattern 2, you're looking at kind of adding an extra phase, a phrase that is by the time. So by the time plus present simple or simple present also you can actually call it. Okay, so by the time plus present simple and then your future perfect tense. Let's look at some sentences. By the time you arrive, simple present, I will have left. Subject will have V3 form left. So what is this? What is this? This is future perfect. Only this is future perfect here. Okay. So by the time is an extra phrase that we have added. By the time you arrive, I will have left. The second example, by the time the class starts, she will have finished. Cool, right? Amazing. I just love this. Really, I just love talking like this. So by the time the class starts, she will have finished. Great. So this is the second pattern for today. Let's look at the third pattern. It's very simple. Just inclusion of or just adding that extra detail. That's it. Look at this. The one that I'm trying to highlight and make a rectangle. Oh God, it just became a triangle. Let's just go back and erase that. It's not happening. Okay, hold on. All right. So And now I'm not going to try and make any shape. I'm just going to underline that, okay? So the pattern 3 is I will have completed my course by December. That's the only extra point that we are adding here. And in sense of what? Achievement or goal, guys. There is a goal, right? This person says that I will have completed my course by December. So pattern 3, you can either use pattern 3, either pattern 2 or 1. If you want to stay pretty basic when you're practicing, you can go for pattern 1. Now, if you feel you are at that stage where you can form, advanced sentences, you can go for pattern 2. Pattern 3 again is for, C1 level of proficiency. But then what I would say is that start slow. It's always okay to kind of, make your way up there. All right, don't rush into things that doesn't really matter. Now, pattern 3, under pattern 3, the second example is they will have built the house by next year. So this sentence is missing a word, that is by. Okay, yeah, so they will have built the house by next year. Great, cool. So these are the three patterns for you guys. Now this is the language of achievement, because when you try to practice along with me, that automatically kicks in. Let's look at some examples for today in reference with future perfect tense. Daily life. I will have eaten before you come. Eaten. V3 form of verb, guys. Okay. I will have eaten before you come. I will have cleaned the room by then, or by any time that you want to add. Work related. I will have sent the report by noon. Okay. Next. She will have finished the project. If it comes to social life, you can just message someone in this particular tense and it would sound something like this. I will have reached home by then. Okay. Next, I will have booked the tickets. You can even add extra details after this if you like. Okay. However, I would only tell you to read these aloud by doing what? Obviously, my favorite icon of the day. My God. Okay, the circle. Come on. Yeah. The pause icon. Just go ahead and pause the video, guys, and read these sentences aloud in order to get a deeper understanding of the concept. Very important, mandatory, in fact. All right, let's look at the contrast corner for today. Now, this particular tense, that is future perfect tense, gets confused with simple future and future continuous as well. How do you think that happens? Is because sometimes users do that. All right. Sometimes learners make certain mistakes, but that's not a very big deal. Let's understand why. Future simple is you're using future simple or simple future only when it is a decision that is taken right now. However, in relation with the future sense, all right, and if it's a plan. Now, future continuous. Now, when there is the word continuous, there's nothing to kind of get confused because the ing form comes in. All right. However, future perfect is when the action is finished before that time. All right. For example, if I say I will be working at 6, it means this is future continuous. I will be working at 6. Okay. I will have finished by 6. It means it's done. Now, when it is in progress, the ing form, it is continuous. Okay. But if the sentence says that I will have finished by 6, in the sense this particular job is finished by 6. All right. That is the big difference. Let's look at common mistakes. I will have finish. No, it is finished. Verb 3 form, verb in the third form. She will has done. No, will have done. Okay. The next example is by 8 p.m. I finish. No, by 8 p.m. I will have finished. Okay. Now these are the common mistakes that I want you to keep in mind, that also to remember when to use has and when to use have. Okay. That's very, very important, guys. Let's look at only two sentences for today under micro conversation. Will you be free at 8? A person A asks the person B. The person B is in a mood to just kind of, answer in future perfect tense. So she or he will say that, yes, I will have finished verb 3 by my work by then. Correct? Got it? Great. Let's look at the practice ladder or the guided practice session for today. So I will have dash by tonight. Please go ahead and fill up this blank with whatever you like. She will have dash by next week. All right, again, time oriented sentence. Now, this is something truly important here, speaking part, wherein I want you to tell three things, okay, that you will have done by the end of this year. Okay, all right, but in future perfect sense. The articulation of the sentences for this particular question has to be in reference with future perfect tense only. Another thing that I really want to tell you is that please record yourself. After recording, repeat, I'm sorry, kind of, listen to yourself. And if there is something, if something has gone wrong or if done a mistake, repeat the whole process again. This way you will understand that where you're exactly going wrong. All right, great. Let me give you a recap. Future perfect tense means what? Completion before a future time. Now, a small call to action before I end this class for today. Write one goal sentence, okay? What goals do you have? I will have dash by a certain time, okay? Now, that is something that I really want to again and again tell you is that please practice all this even after the class. All the tenses have I have already kind of spoken about, and I'm trying my best to get through you guys. The next tense after this will be future perfect continuous, and I hope to see you there as well. If you're learning with us on YouTube, guys, this lesson is a part of our free grammar series. Now, if you want guided practice and step by step confidence building, you can join us through the free course link in the description. Start free, guys, but continue only when you feel ready. Thanks a lot and have a great day ahead.